Imagine stepping back in time to Thailand in the mid-1980s. A country rich in tradition, where ancient temples stood beside growing cities, and where daily life moved at a pace very different from today. 40 years ago, Thailand was on the verge of transformation. Modernization was beginning to reshape the nation, yet much of everyday life remained deeply connected to customs that had been passed down for generations. The streets of Bangkok were already bustling with energy. Colorful buses, tuk-tuks, and motorcycles filled the roads, while vendors sold fresh food from small carts on nearly every corner. But beyond the capital, a different Thailand existed, one of rice fields, fishing villages, and close-knit communities where life followed the rhythms of nature. This is the story of what life was really like in Thailand 40 years ago. For most Thai families, the day began before sunrise. In rural areas, farmers woke early to avoid the intense tropical heat. As the first rays of sunlight appeared over the rice paddies, workers were already preparing their fields. Agriculture was the backbone of the country's economy, and millions of people depended on farming for their livelihoods. Meanwhile, in towns and cities, market vendors arranged fruits, vegetables, spices, and seafood for the morning rush. The local market was more than a place to shop, it was the center of community life. Children dressed in school uniforms walked or rode bicycles to school. Many families owned few modern conveniences, but strong family bonds and close relationships with neighbors were an important part of everyday life. Traditional wooden houses, often built on stilts, could be found throughout the countryside. These homes helped protect families from seasonal floods and provided natural ventilation during the hot months. Life was simple by today's standards, but many people remember it as a time of strong community values and a slower pace of living. Getting around Thailand in the 1980s was an experience of its own. Bangkok streets were already famous for their traffic. Brightly colored buses carried thousands of commuters every day, while tuk-tuks zipped through crowded roads. Motorcycles were becoming increasingly common, and Japanese-made cars were gradually appearing across the country. In many areas, waterways remained an important means of transportation. Longtail boats traveled through canals and rivers, connecting communities and transporting goods. For longer journeys, trains provided an affordable way to travel between cities. Despite fewer vehicles than today, transportation could still be slow. Yet for many Thais, the journey itself was simply a normal part of daily life. 40 years ago, Thailand was entering a period of rapid economic growth. Construction projects were appearing throughout Bangkok as new roads, office buildings, and factories began changing the city's skyline. Many people left rural villages in search of better opportunities in urban areas. Factories producing textiles, electronics, and consumer goods were expanding, creating jobs for a growing workforce. Yet traditional occupations remained essential. Farmers cultivated rice, fishermen worked along the coastlines, and small family-owned businesses formed the heart of local economies. Street vendors sold everything from noodles and grilled meats to handmade crafts and household goods. Hard work and determination helped fuel Thailand's remarkable economic development during this period. While the country was changing, Thailand's cultural traditions remained deeply rooted. Buddhism played a central role in everyday life. Each morning, monks walked quietly through neighborhoods collecting alms from local residents. This centuries-old tradition connected communities through acts of generosity and respect. Temples served not only as places of worship but also as centers of education and community gatherings. Festivals brought families and neighbors together throughout the year. Colorful celebrations featured traditional music, dance performances, food, and religious ceremonies. Respect for elders, strong family ties, and a sense of community were values deeply embedded in Thai society. These traditions helped preserve the country's unique identity during a time of rapid modernization. Life before the internet was very different. In the 1980s, entertainment was often shared with family and friends. Television was becoming increasingly popular, and many families gathered together in the evening to watch their favorite programs. Cassette players filled homes with music, while radio remained an important source of news and entertainment. Children spent much of their free time outdoors, playing games with friends, riding bicycles, or exploring their neighborhoods. Arcade games were beginning to attract young people in larger cities, while movie theaters offered a glimpse into both Thai and international cinema. Without smartphones or social media, face-to-face interaction remained at the center of daily life. As the decade progressed, Thailand continued to evolve. New highways connected cities, international tourism increased, and foreign investment helped drive economic growth. The Bangkok skyline began to rise higher each year. Traditional lifestyles gradually blended with modern influences. For many people, these changes brought new opportunities, better education, and improved living standards. Yet even as the country embraced modernization, many aspects of traditional Thai culture remained strong. This balance between progress and heritage became one of Thailand's defining characteristics. Looking back, Thailand of 40 years ago was a nation standing between two worlds. It was a place where ancient traditions and modern ambitions existed side by side. The bustling markets, peaceful temples, rural villages, and growing cities all formed part of a remarkable chapter in the country's history. Today, much has changed. But the spirit of community, cultural pride, and resilience that defined Thailand in the 1980s continues to shape the nation. And perhaps that's what makes this journey into the past so fascinating, not just seeing how much Thailand has changed, but discovering what has remained the same.